Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Quavo back with another reaction video. And today I got Massdown Mar facing life in prison for a double shooting. If you're new to my channel, subscribe, turn on post notifications, like the video. Now let's go ahead and hop right into the video. Y'all know I don't like to do no pausing. So that ain't the question, my nigga. Let's go ahead and watch this.
But first, breaking right now in Montgomery County, we are following reports of a shooting near a community center. Sky Fox live over the scene. This is the 600 block of Beach Street in Pottstown. Initial reports say 2 people were injured here around 6 o'clock tonight. It's unclear if both were shot. This is the Ricketts Community Center. It's still unclear what sparked the shooting. And stay with Fox 20.
Massdown Mar is a name that most people who follow the Philly drill scene are familiar with. Even though Mar is actually from Norristown, he managed to break into Philly's drill scene, something that isn't easy for outsiders to do. Despite not being from the city itself, Mar eventually found himself aligned with the South Philly set known as 234. This is the same crew that rappers like Easy Money Teef and Seamsos claim. And if you know how things usually go in the streets, when you start hanging with a certain set, you often end up inheriting their beef as well, whether it's out of loyalty, pressure, or just being caught up in the politics that come with it. Over the years, Massdown Mar's music career has been on and off, constantly interrupted by run-ins with the law, leaving him sitting behind bars. It seems like every time he gets out, within a few months, he's right back in, leaving his fans frustrated and waiting for new music that barely gets a chance to surface before legal issues pull him away again. Most recently, Massdown Mar was picked up in connection to a shooting that took place in Pottstown. While details surrounding that situation are still unfolding, it's clear this is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle when it comes to his ongoing legal troubles. In this video, we're going to break down the Pottstown shooting that led to Mar's recent arrest, along with a deeper look into his past run-ins with the law and how his situation seems to keep repeating itself. Massdown Mar's legal journey has been a chaotic cycle of arrests, courtroom battles, and brief moments of freedom. His first major run-in with the law after he turned 18 began in December 2021, when Mar was reportedly involved in an incident in Norristown that would later lead to his first arrest. While details surrounding that initial situation remain limited in court records, what's clear is that this marked the start of a long string of legal troubles. On January 3, 2022, Mar was arrested in connection to that December incident. Authorities charged him with firearms not to be carried without a license under Title 18, Section 6106, subsection A1, classified as a third-degree felony that carries serious weight in Pennsylvania's legal system. For someone barred from possessing firearms.
Bro, I don't understand these rappers, bro. Like, if I had a chance to, like, if I'm getting money from rapping and I got a chance to make it out, gang, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make it out, gang. I'm not trying to stay in the trenches for the rest of my life. Why would I want to do that? I've been around you niggas damn near my whole life. And if y'all don't respect it, gang, I just don't know that you're not my mans. I don't know what to tell you. If I blowing up rapping, I would not be sliding with you niggas, for you niggas. And I won't be hanging around the hood all day. Okay, I pop out occasionally, but gang, I'm gonna be focused on the career that's making me cheese, gang, or it's blowing up at the time. Like, I'm not about to, I don't know, that's probably the difference between me and people, gang. When I see something working, gang, I'm going all out about that shit. I'm not going, people is just different though. I don't know, I'm different. But
this charge alone carried the potential for significant jail time. With his case now moving through Montgomery County's legal system, Mar's situation had taken a turn for the worse. While still incarcerated for that January firearm charge, Mar's legal problems escalated again just a few months later. On May 5, 2022, he was hit with another serious charge, this time for conspiracy to commit robbery, resulting in serious bodily injury, under Title 18, Section 903, a felony of the first degree. This charge stemmed from an alleged fight incident in Montgomery County Correctional Facility, or MCCF. With this new case now added to his plate, Mar was actively fighting 2 separate criminal cases at once. Despite his mounting legal issues, Mar somehow managed to get out of jail in July 2022, but his freedom didn't last long. On August 18, 2022, Mar found himself back in police custody, this time linked to yet another incident, this one in Philadelphia County. He was charged with firearms not to be carried without a license under Title 18, Section 6106, subsection A1, classified.
Yo, this nigga get the most, bro. This nigga got the most chances I ever seen in my life. You got out for a robbery. You got out for a gun. We stay your ass out the way. No, you keep going in people's way. Going back to jail. Like,
as a third-degree felony. Following this arrest, the court set his bail at $500,000 with 10% required, which he didn't have, effectively keeping him behind bars yet again. By this point, Mar was tangled in 3 active cases: the January firearm case, the May case, and now this new Philadelphia firearm case. On September 6, 2022, the court ruled to hold his Philadelphia firearm case for trial, advancing it to the Court of Common Pleas. Just over a week later, on September 15, 2022, Mar appeared for his formal arraignment on that same Philadelphia firearm charge. By November 17, 2022, things took another turn. As Mar's fight case neared a critical stage, prosecutors filed a motion to either revoke or increase his bail, arguing that his growing list of criminal charges posed a greater risk. The court sided with the prosecution, revoking Mar's bail and ensuring he would remain incarcerated while awaiting trial. On January 10, 2023, Mar pleaded guilty to his role in the May 2022 fight case. The court sentenced him to 385 days to 23 months of confinement, followed by 3 years of probation. He was credited for time served, but the judge ordered that this sentence run consecutive to whatever sentence Mar received for his January firearm case. Months later, on June 14, 2023, Mar received his sentence for the January 3rd Norristown firearm case, and the judge handed down another 385-day confinement sentence, again aligning with time served, plus 3 years of probation. Like before, this sentence was ordered to run consecutive to his other cases, adding to his mounting legal consequences. Meanwhile, his Philadelphia firearm case reached its conclusion on August 29, 2023, when Mar entered a guilty plea. This time, he was sentenced to 11.5 to 23 months of confinement, followed by 1 year of probation. However, this sentence was structured to run concurrent with his other cases, meaning it wouldn't add additional time but still came with strict conditions. As part of his probation terms, Mar was prohibited from possessing firearms, deadly weapons, or even replica guns. He was barred from using, selling, or distributing controlled substances. He faced heavy movement restrictions, forbidden from leaving Philadelphia without his probation officer's prior approval, along with added travel limits under Megan's Law. His probation officer was also granted the right to visit his home or workplace at any time. Additionally, Mar was ordered to pursue and maintain employment, complete his GED, and follow all local laws. For the first 6 months of his probation, he was required to report regularly to his probation officer, with the final 6 months shifting to non-reporting status, but only if he remained fully compliant with all conditions set in Montgomery County. In September 2023, Mar was released from jail on probation, but his freedom was once again short-lived. Roughly 1 month later, on October 12, 2023, Mar faced yet another sentencing related to his August 2022 Philadelphia firearm charge. I don't know why or how this happened, but they decided to sentence him again for this case. This time, the court handed down an additional 6 to 12 months of confinement plus 3 years of probation. Like the previous sentence, this one was set to run concurrent with his other terms. Finally, in November 2024, Mar was released from jail and resumed his rap career. But with his extensive criminal history, mounting probation requirements, and the conditions of his release hanging over his head, his legal troubles still seemed far from over. Following his release from jail in November 2024, Massdown Mar wasted no time getting back to his music career. During his brief time home, he managed to drop 8 music videos on his YouTube channel, giving fans a fresh wave of content after years of inconsistency due to his repeated legal setbacks. For someone who had spent so much time in and out of jail, this sudden burst of music seemed to show Mar's determination to rebuild his career despite the heavy conditions tied to his probation. But as we've seen before, Massdown Mar's attempts to stay active in the music scene have often been disrupted by his ongoing legal issues. The momentum he was building with those 8 music videos would once again be cut short, this time by a serious situation tied to a shooting in Pottstown that resulted in his most recent
jail at this point. Like, that's the only thing I could say. He loved jail, gang. This nigga loved jail. Cause there's no way. They give this nigga chance after chance. And, bro, you cooked this time, gang. They ain't letting you out no more. Gang, they just give you your ass chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. And then you not, I don't know, he just not getting through it.
Recent arrest. On February 26, 2025, police in Pottstown, Pennsylvania responded to reports of gunfire near the Richard J. Ricketts Center, a community hub known for its after-school programs, youth activities, and family-friendly environment. The shooting occurred on the basketball court outside the center after what authorities described as a heated argument. Witnesses reported hearing 4 gunshots, and when officers arrived at the scene, they found 2 men injured, a 21-year-old man who had been shot in the hand and a 26-year-old man with a gunshot wound to his hip. Both victims survived their injuries, and the situation could have been far worse given how active the area is, especially with children frequently.
Story in Pottstown, Montgomery County.
Officials confirm that a shooting in the 600 block of Beach Street. Police can be seen investigating inside and outside the community center there. 69 News reporter Rose Itzkovitz joins us live. Rose?
Yeah, hi guys. So we did leave the community center area out of an abundance of caution. We're outside the police station now, but we do know that police were investigating that basketball court right outside the center. And also I went inside the center and I saw that one detective was talking with staff in the director's office. I also noticed several drops of blood on the sidewalk outside the center and some leading up to the door of the center as well. And also right next to the basketball court outside now, there is a playground. The center is a place with plenty of after school and other child-friendly programs, though regulars tell me they believe the shooting happened after all those programs were let out. So the call came in around 6 p.m. Officials confirm the shooting, but they aren't saying if or how many were shot. One anonymous official tells me it appears 2 were left with non-life-threatening injuries. So when we arrived, the center was still open with the last few members leaving the gym. They said at first they weren't sure if it was still open with all the police presence, but when they saw it was, they were told there was no threat and that they were still able to work out.
We begin tonight with a developing story in Pottstown, Montgomery County.
Officials confirm that a shooting in the 600 block of Beach Street. Police can be seen investigating inside and outside the community center there. 69 News reporter Rose Itzkovitz joins us live.
Most likely he shot the niggas because they was fouling. What? I'm telling you, he shot the niggas. The situation was this little. And Jim made it that big.
Rose?
Yeah, hi guys. So we did leave the community center area out of an abundance of caution. We're outside the police station now, but we do know that police were investigating that basketball court right outside the center. And also I went inside the center and I saw that one detective was talking with staff in the director's office. I also noticed several drops of blood on the sidewalk outside the center and some leading up to the door of the center as well. And also right next to the basketball court outside now, there is a playground. The center is a place with plenty of after school and other child-friendly programs, though regulars tell me they believe the shooting happened after all those programs were let out. So the call came in around 6 p.m. Officials confirm the shooting, but they aren't saying if or how many were shot. One anonymous official tells me it appears 2 were left with non-life-threatening injuries. So when we arrived, the center was still open with the last few members leaving the gym. They said at first they weren't sure if it was still open with all the police presence, but when they saw it was, they were told there was no threat and that they were still able to work out.
Investigators quickly identified Lamar Lewis, better known as Mask Down Mar, as a key figure in the incident. Police believe Mar was not just present but played a central role in instigating the confrontation. According to authorities, Mar allegedly led his co-conspirators, who have not yet been named or arrested, to the scene with the intent of finding one of the victims, turning what may have started as an argument into a targeted act of violence. After the shooting, Mar decided to leave the city. He must have knew that the cops were on his head. On February 27, 2025, criminal charges were filed against Mask Down Mar in this shooting. He wasn't arrested until nearly a week later. On March 5, 2025, the United States Marshals Service tracked Marr to an Airbnb rental in Miami Beach, Florida. He surrendered without incident, but what made matters worse was what police found on him at the time of his arrest: a handgun. As a convicted felon, Marr was prohibited from possessing any firearms, making this discovery yet another violation with serious legal consequences. Florida authorities confirmed that Marr would face separate charges for the firearm offense before being extradited back to Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, detectives in Pottstown are still working to identify the other individuals who may have been involved in the altercation, urging anyone with information
This little nigga's grits. He's fucked.
to come forward. For Maskdown Marr, this arrest isn't just another setback, it's part of a troubling pattern that's followed him for years. Just a few months earlier, Marr had been released from jail and seemed focused on reviving his music career, dropping a string of videos to re-establish his presence in the Philly drill scene. But like before, his freedom didn't last long. With this latest arrest, Marr is once again facing serious charges that could have a lasting impact on both his career and his future. Following the February 26, 2025 shooting in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Lamar Roosevelt Lewis Jr., known as Maskdown Marr, found himself facing a series of serious criminal charges tied to that violent encounter. Authorities charged Marr with 2 counts of aggravated assault, attempts to cause serious bodily injury, or causes injury with extreme indifference, both first-degree felonies. This charge is one of the most serious non-homicide offenses in Pennsylvania and suggests authorities believe Marr's actions created a significant risk of serious injury or death. He was also charged with 2 counts of conspiracy, aggravated assault, attempts to cause serious bodily injury or causes injury with extreme indifference, also first-degree felonies. This indicates investigators believe Marr acted with others and played a role in planning or coordinating the violence. In addition, Marr was charged with aggravated assault, attempts to cause or causes bodily injury with a deadly weapon, a second-degree felony tied to the firearm used in the incident. Alongside that, he was hit with 2 counts of conspiracy, aggravated assault, attempts to cause or causes bodily injury with a deadly weapon, both second-degree felonies, reinforcing claims that Marr's involvement went beyond just being present. Authorities also charged Marr with possession of a weapon, a first-degree misdemeanor. While this charge does indicate unlawful possession of a firearm, it's important to note that this is not the same as the more severe possession of a firearm prohibited charge, which applies specifically to convicted felons. In Marr's case, the misdemeanor possession charge reflects that he was found with a weapon under circumstances that violated Pennsylvania's firearm laws, but it's not directly tied to his status as a felon. However, since Marr was found with a handgun when he was arrested by the U.S. Marshals Service in Miami Beach, Florida, authorities there have indicated they will be pursuing their own charges for felon in possession of a firearm. This charge carries much heavier penalties and will likely delay his extradition back to Pennsylvania, while Florida handles its legal proceedings. With both Pennsylvania and Florida authorities now involved, Marr's legal situation has grown even more complicated, adding another layer of trouble to what was already a serious case. Marr's charges also included 2 counts of conspiracy, simple assault, both second-degree misdemeanors, adding further weight to claims that Marr had encouraged or coordinated violent actions that day. Most notably, Marr was charged with 30 counts of recklessly endangering another person, each classified as a second-degree misdemeanor. The high number of charges suggests numerous bystanders, potentially people near the community center or on the basketball court, were put at risk during the shooting. Now, for those of you who didn't get that, Maskdown Marr is facing 2 counts of aggravated assault, attempts to cause serious bodily injury or causes injury with extreme indifference, 2 counts of conspiracy, aggravated.
Man, if you're new to my channel, subscribe, turn on post notifications. This nigga's grits. I ain't gonna lie. It's over with. You ain't getting out no time. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and skip to the end. Hold on.
Person. Altogether, if every charge were to run consecutively, Marr could be looking at a maximum sentence of 179 years in prison.